Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you like this content, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe anyway, because I want to make sure you get riled up and you comment, okay? I don't want you to miss this opportunity. Let's talk about Pete Hegseth, because Trump is still intent on making him Secretary of Defense. Trump is absolutely picking the worst kind of people for his cabinet. I don't know how we're going to survive the next 4 years. We have the Senate Armed Services Committee, which is planning to hold his hearing in the middle of January 14th, I believe. And for a minute, Trump did have a backup plan, which included Ron DeSantis. And Ron DeSantis was getting all puffed up. Probably took his old uniform out of the closet and put it on and realized it probably didn't fit as well as back in the days. But he was psyched. He was really psyched about becoming the new Secretary of Defense. However, those dreams quickly faded away. But with that also went the Senate seat that Laura Trump desperately wanted here in Florida. And that to me is a win. It's a small win, but it's a win nevertheless. Not another hot mess here in Florida. Now, Pete Hegseth, I said it wrong, Pete Hegseth is the co-host, or was the co-host, for Fox and Friends Weekends. He is controversial because of his political views and some of his action. So let's name a few, shall we? Number one, his support for the January 6th Capitol Riot. He has been criticized time and time again because of his rhetoric around the January 6th Capitol insurrection. And although he did not directly incite violence, his support for the political movement that fueled the riot and his general disdain for the political establishment contributed to the controversy. He has major distrust over the mainstream media and the government, aligning populist views that resonate with the far-right supporters. And some of his comments were seen as indirectly encouraging the kind of environment that led to the attack on the Capitol. Number two, his comments on the military service and veterans. He is a former Army National Guard officer, and he has made several statements that has sparked debate in the military community, in the veteran community. One of the significant comments that he made was in 2017, in which he was on Fox and Friends, and he said that PTSD is often overblown. And this drew a lot of backlash from veterans groups that felt that it undermined the real challenges of many veterans facing when they return back home. Number three, dismissal of COVID-19 threats. Throughout this pandemic, he frequently downplayed the severity of this virus, and he criticized restrictions such as lockdowns and mask mandates. He was one of the crazy right-wing commentators who promoted the idea that COVID-19 was being overhyped. He's not a scientist, and this is what led to a lot of widespread criticism from public health officials and scientists. Before being on Fox News, he also promoted the notion that 2020 election was won by Donald Trump. It was stolen from Donald Trump. That's one of the reasons that Fox News was sued, right? Because they promoted this idea that the election was stolen from Trump, when in fact it was not. So let's talk about his personal life controversies. His marriages are no business to me, but he has been married 3 times and he has 7 children. His first marriage ended in a highly publicized divorce. But let's talk about what really matters. In 2017, a California woman alleges that he refused and he blocked her from leaving the hotel room. He also took her phone and he essayed her, even though she remembers saying no a lot. And this is in the police report that was obtained by CNN. And it was 22 pages. And this is one of the reasons that Donald Trump thought that he may fail the Senate. Now, he was not arrested from this, but I'm going to tell you, some of the description in the video surveillance shows some of their movement of that night. He was not arrested for this. And, well, let's see what happens in the Senate hearing committees. Number 6, criticism of wokeness and social justice movement. He has been a vocal critic of social justice movement and what he described as wokeness in the American culture. His criticism of progressive movements, which includes Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ+ rights advocacy, has sparked outrage from liberals and activists. He argues that these movements represent a form of ideological extremism that undermines American values. Such as his sexual allegation, such as his 3 marriages. I don't know. Thus should not be talking. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about the disagreement that he has with other media figures. That's neither here or there. But I just want to say this. I'm going to summarize it very easily. Pete Hegseth is the guy that thinks PTSD is overblown, that the COVID-19 pandemic is just some media hype, and that the 2020 election was stolen because apparently facts are just optional. Oh, and let's not forget his stellar track record of marriages, 3 in case you're wondering, and also pretty fond of bashing wokeness while completely missing the irony of being paid to spread divisive nonsense on national TV. Basically, if you're looking for a walking, talking controversy machine, he's your guy. Once again, we have to ask the question, why is he going to be our Secretary of Defense? Inquiring minds want to know. You guys have a blessed day.